Clika. I apologize if I'm saying that name wrong. This was a movie I didn't really know anything about, and I'm going to try to be very sensitive about how I review this movie. Because going into this movie, I didn't know anything about it, and I wouldn't have watched it if I knew something about it. I watch most of the movies I see blind, to be honest. Unless they're like a franchise movie or a movie from a big name director I like or something like that. Most of the time, maybe I'll know something about the premise, somebody in it, but I don't really know anything about a lot of the movies I watch. And sometimes that means I watch things that are very interesting, or it means like this case, I watched a movie that I don't know if I really should have watched. And that doesn't mean that it's awful. This is a movie that is meant to pander like to the Hispanic community and things like that. It and that doesn't mean that I think that's awful. Like there are movies made to pander to me that exist. That's not me hating on the fact that this movie exists, but I am not in that demographic. So when I watched this movie, I was like, "Oh, okay, not for me." Though I do think this is a bad movie in the sense that this was a movie that apparently only got a release because Sony was contractually obligated to do so. So it got a theatrical release. Though shockingly, the theater I was in was sold out. So maybe this movie will do pretty well because it was released in theaters. But this movie just was a very like boring story that was about a guy who rose up from his community, got some fame and stuff. It was very basic. And at first, I was kind of on board with it because we were having a lot of immigration talk in this country right now for very sad reasons. And so, a movie that highlights Hispanic community, but I don't feel like the movie had anything that interesting to say. So it was just really boring. I mean, one of the lines of dialogue in this movie, at the end of the movie, is, you know, I forget the exact phrasing of it, but he said like something like, "When's our chance for the American dream?" Because we're all out there picking crops, doing the jobs Americans don't want to do. I'm like, how many times have we heard that phrase? And he just repeats it like word for word in the most basic way forward. I'm like, that's not great. It's not a good movie. Just because the ideas that it's communicating are just really bland and generic. But it seems like a crowd of people were into this movie. Was not one of them.